We started the People's Free Space in 2002, and it really came together out of the collective desires of different individuals here in Portland who were involved in different activism, um, and a lot of anti-globalization work, environmental work, different community organizing, and people really seeing how can we move beyond just protesting to how can we create different alternatives to the sustainability of the corporate system. So we started by offering different free resources, free classes, workshops. That evolved into a mobile community space in a bus where we traveled around to different fairs and festivals, protests, schools, teaching and cooking and supporting community events. And then we opened up a community space on the east end of Portland, People's Free Space, where all that was housed, and we had a free school and a kitchen and kids area. There was a lot of great things about the People's Free Space, a lot of real challenges too. And one thing that over time that we recognized is while giving stuff away for free seemed like a great response to capitalism, and where we saw in capitalism you have to pay for all these things, we also realized that giving away things for free is not always sustainable either. It's not really, and it can be a reaction to capitalism as opposed to how do we build something that's really more sustainable and really supporting our local communities, supporting us as individuals, supporting farmers, supporting, people who don't just have free time to volunteer at an organization. And so it's kind of out of that, and also out of kind of looking at how the free space was so many different things, we wanted to focus a little bit more. And so a group of us came together and we decided to start up Local Sprouts, and we wanted to continue the collective organizing structure of the People's Free Space, but solidify that more into a worker-owned cooperative, and really work to how can we create a democratic economy, how can we create a democratic workplace. We wanted to support local farms. Really saw a lot of us have been involved in different community gardening projects, including the Victory Gardens project, the Winter Cash project, and we wanted to continue that forward by supporting local farms and being involved in where our food is coming from. And we realized that we're better cooks than farmers too, so we decided to focus on cooking and really looking at how we can use food as a tool for learning, as a tool for community organizing, and bringing people together, because ultimately we all eat every day, and it's a really powerful tool for building connections and building alternatives to the industrial system. And so that's kind of where we came out of, and it's been a process of growth from there. We started catering because we had been doing food for different events, for protests, for gatherings, and we said, hey, we can cater, we can do food easily at some different things, and it isn't as hard to set up a whole cafe. But we really had that vision originally of opening up a learning cafe, a place where people could learn to cooking food, where it's cooperatively run. And so we started catering, we started teaching, working with different schools, working with different nonprofits, and really looking at how to use cooking with local foods as a holistic tool for learning. And then in 2009 we started moving forward on our vision of opening up Local Sprouts Cafe, and we found this location where we're at, which used to be a University of Southern Maine dorm, so taking what was the cafeteria of the dorm and turning it into a community cafe. And we opened our doors here June 4th, and it's been a really amazing experience so far. It's been a lot of work, but it's been really great to see so many different people coming together in the cafe, and really seeing it be a place where, like all different people, all different walks of life can come together, eat a good meal, learn more about local farms, maybe get involved in different things in the community, and really, build a community around food. And so that's been really powerful. And because we really believe it's a really powerful model for increasing democracy in our world, and really giving people a voice in their work, which is where people spend a huge portion of their time. And so right now we just have 3 worker owners. We definitely want to grow that. We don't have like a kind of an end goal. Like we don't think, okay, we want 20 or 30, or because it's really kind of seeing how things go. And we definitely know in the next year we'd love to have like 6 or 7 worker owners. Um, and what we've also seen is the importance um, of really being able to trust and really being able to have a good working relationship with the other worker owners is very important. And I think it's a real challenge. I mean, it's a real challenge because we come to our work with a lot of past baggage of being a boss, being a subservient worker, not never having any business experience, whatever it is that we come to this with. And it's like, how do we do this? How do we run a business together? How do we challenge conventional ways of ownership and running a business and do something that's pretty unique and different? And so it's been a real challenge. And we've had different workers come and go for various reasons. But now with the cafe opening up, we've hired on about 12 more people. So some of those people will become worker owners, some won't. Some it's not really what they're interested in. And over time, we'll grow the worker owners, and part of that too will be how the business grows too. If we grow bigger and bigger, then really the goal would be to have more worker owners than having workers. Because again, that gives a greater democracy in the workplace. Even with that said, we try to look at how can we don't limit democracy only to the owners either. I mean, there's certain decisions as owners that we make, but there's other decisions as, hey, this is something you, as workers, you should have a voice in, and you should, this is something that affects you. You should be able to, say what you think and have a voice in this process. Really recommend to people starting up a worker-owned cooperative, starting up something like what we're doing is to spend the time to develop the plan, develop your structure, your organization. Really, and I mean, like I said, worker-owned cooperatives they're a different structure. So you really need to learn a lot about that and what a cooperative means, and do a lot of education together with the people you want to start this business with, to really learn about a cooperative. At the same time, while worker cooperatives are really different, there's a lot of really conventional business stuff and business stuff and legal stuff and accounting things that kind of go across the board, whether you're a cooperative or you're a business. And it's often something that every activist organization that I've ever been involved in, that's the thing that no one wants to deal with. And then every activist organization, money and all the legal stuff is always the challenge, and sometimes what shuts them down. And and that's unfortunate. And it's a lot of it obviously is rooted in that, a lot of critiques of capitalism, a lot of critiques of the government system, and so it's let's not deal with it and try to just avoid it. But fortunately, those are the systems we live in, and so I think it's just definitely important for, if you're starting up a worker-owned cooperative, to spend the time to read a business book, go to a small business workshops or small business counseling or whatever, develop a business plan and do. The Bomb Diggity Bakery and the Bomb Diggity Baking Creative Arts Program is actually a separate business than Local Sprouts, and we came together in 2009 and started to learn about kind of our shared visions of what we wanted to create. They wanted to create a bakery working with adults with intellectual disabilities. We share the space together. The bakery itself has both kind of more production bakery and then also their baking creative arts program, which works with adults with intellectual disabilities. They do some baking here at the cafe, and then they also do arts and other community programs out in the community. So it's been a really great partnership for us and for the Bomb Diggity Bakery, and it's really been a space where people with intellectual disabilities can feel at home in the community, and also for us, just creating a space where different people are coming together and building respect and understanding is really important.